Come explore the new and redesigned GBIC website. To learn about Brownsville's pro-business approach and global connectivity. The Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation website features over 1,000 acres of industrial real estate, including Brownsville's Air and Space Campus. What are you waiting for? Join over 130 industry partners and book a site at greaterbrownsville.com.
Dental hygiene program, get water restriction, give us back our beach. And where does that GBIC FERIA go? It is Wednesday, September the 20th, 7:08 a.m. My name is Frank Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. Now, starting off with our award-winning segment. The city of Brownsville will be looking at a cool 97 degrees, and I say that lightly because, again, this is South Texas. South Padre Island is 86 degrees. Harlingen, 99. McAllen is in the triple digits. Again, mostly sunny and hot today. There is going to be some isolated showers, possible thunderstorms near the coast. The highs will range for the upper 80s. Now, in regards to the forecast for the week, we do have high pressures in the mid layers of the atmosphere, which is going to bounce around the Rio Grande Valley. But again, September showers, scattered showers throughout the week should be hot with little to no rain. Now, it is hard for us to convey to the youth of the importance of education, and many still possibly don't know what they want to be. We always ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everyone always says, well, I don't know. It is important for us to start teaching them about the importance of figuring out what they want to do. Sometimes it comes natural. Sometimes it takes a while. But it is important for the youth today to be ready for every and all opportunity that is out there. Here locally in the city of Harlingen at TSC, their dental hygiene program was ranked amongst the best in Texas. The interesting thing that I learned was that this program was just for 2 years, and according to 1tonline.org, dental hygienists in Texas, they can earn up to $80,000. Now, this profession in this state is growing, is expected to grow by 32%. And we always tell the youth, look for something that is going to give you longevity in your profession. Growing up, it was to become a teacher. Everyone said, oh, you need to be a teacher to be successful. Nowadays, that has drastically changed. At TSC for 2 years, for a 2-year program, the students could make up to $80,000. That is a going market. And if you ask me, that's a hell of a deal. Now, I have friends that are in debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're not able to find a job, unfortunately. We have to work smart, not hard. So I would encourage you to promote this program. It is in Harlingen, but again, it's only for 24 months, and the individual has the opportunity to make up to $80,000. Living in South Texas, in Brownsville, that is a whole lot of money for not that much schooling. Speaking of the dentist field, if you are in need of any dental services, make sure you stop by with our friends at All Valley Smiles. They are located at 5850 Ruben Torres. They cater to individuals of all ages. Your child could possibly be the patient of the day, and also you can get your grill fix. So if you are in need of any crowns, extractions, bridges, cleanings, deep fillings, make sure you stop by with our friends at All Valley Smiles, 5850 Ruben Torres. You won't regret it. Now, keeping up with local news, the PUB, the Brownsville Public Utility Board, they did implement a stage 2 water restriction. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the hell? Why do I need to conserve water? Well, this is due to having low water levels at the Amistad and Falcon reservoirs. The they are what provide the Rio Grande Valley with water. And under this restriction, washing vehicles, watering your lawn with a sprinkler system will only be allowed 2 days a week, and non-essential water such as washing buildings is is prohibited. And Brownsville PUB, they do aim to reduce daily consumption uh, by by 10%. Now, the interesting thing that you're probably asking yourselves is, well, what about the car washes? Aren't they using all the consumption? We've all thought of this. The interesting thing that I learned from these car washes is that they recycle water. I was fortunate to be in Houston a few months back at I would say like a mini convention, got to look at some products. And I met a, a vendor, a consultant that stated that car washes in Houston are popping up like crazy. And I said, hey, we're having the same issue in the RGV. It seems as if every couple months we're starting to see a brand new car wash. And we talked about water consumption. And he said, that's a $1 to $2 million investment, depending on where you're at, of course. But he found his in Houston. And he said that is a great investment, that there is hardly any overhead. The water that they use is all recycled. So they're not spending money on water, on overhead. And that investment, the return of investment, is gained back anywhere from 2 to 4 years. So even though I know what you're thinking, there's a water restriction by PUB, but then again we have car washes galore in the city of Brownsville, which one is about to open off of Old Port Isabel and Minnesota on the corner. But but that's a good question. I'm not sure who regulates them, but they don't they don't use as much water as we would think. We would think, oh, it's a car wash. They're using large consumptions of water, but that is not that is not the case. Now, keeping up with local news, we do have in the news the "Give us back our beach" argument. We do have two environmental groups and indigenous tribe that on Wednesday they will be presenting appeals in their lawsuit against the state of Texas for closing our beaches because of SpaceX. These individuals, they will be presenting arguments in Edinburgh today, Wednesday morning, and this has been an argument that has been going on for quite a while, and it is important for us to recognize how Save RGV, Sierra Club, and the Carrizo Nation of Texas, they are suing to keep Boca Chica Beach from repeated closures for test flights and SpaceX activity. And us here locally, we do. It does affect us. We do have avid fishermen that frequent Boca Chica Beach. Many people have great memories of their time there. Last summer, a district judge here in Brownsville did rule against the lawsuit. It did state that the the suit can't be brought upon because they can't sue the General Land Office and Cameron County, where the beach and SpaceX are located, for not upholding the Texas Open Beaches Act. The group, they did appeal, and they have issue. Their main issue, their main argument is whether they have a constitutional right to sue. As we all know, the Texas Constitution does grant the public access to the public beaches. But the interesting thing here, or the main crux of this lawsuit, is that the legal challenge is whether a private group, such as uh, Save RGV, Sierra Club, and the Carrizo Nation of Texas, if a private group such as them, if they can sue the state over that right. What we have seen has been since last year, and if you don't follow Sheriff Eric Garza, make sure you do so. He always keeps the county up to date whenever SpaceX does close the beaches. It is interesting to learn that last year Boca Chica Beach was closed for over 1,000 days. I'm sorry, 1,000 hours during the first 100 days. And according to the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, they only allow or authorize SpaceX 500 hours of closure. And again, we have gone before you on Good Morning Brownsville and talked about how environmentalists, they have repeatedly complained about the damages to the Rio Grande Valley ecosystem because of the rocket explosion and the launches being so close to where sea turtles nest. Have we given up on our beach? Is this a thing that we have said, you know what? Nobody uses it. Might as well, for the sake of humanity, might as well try and reach another planet. Today, arguments before the 13th Court of Appeals in Edinburgh will take place. Will the environmentalist groups and the indigenous association, will they be able to have an appellate court overturn the judge's ruling? Again, the important thing for us to learn is that the judge last summer, she did rule that a private group cannot sue SpaceX, but could individuals do it in a class action lawsuit? That is something that we need to monitor moving forward. Now, as of late, we have seen how GBIC, the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation, has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Ever since SpaceX opened up shop in the city of Brownsville, we have been promised many things. We have been led to believe that the city of Brownsville will be the launching site to Mars. In downtown Brownsville, there's a beautiful mural, a beautiful painting that states Boca Chica to Mars. Everyone saw the opportunity for businesses to open up shop that were in the field of technology, aerospace, engineering, pretty much everything that encompasses SpaceX or that it could accommodate SpaceX was something that sounded like it was going to be beneficial for the city. It came out in an audit that was released that there were many irregularities with the financial agreements with these companies. And who can forget? We did have an individual from 9 989 point, if I'm not mistaken, that pretty much swindled the city of Brownsville for $750,000. And it's always the same pitch. What we're going to do is we're going to lead economic development. We are going to create jobs. We are going to create housing for these people. The economy here in Brownsville locally is going to thrive. I just need your money to get it started. The audit did show how this company, 989 point, they're on the hook for $750,000, and the city still has not been able to recoup or much less even get in contact with this individual. The audit showed that Helen Ramirez, who was at the helm or interim CEO of GBIC at the time, that her office or her administration really didn't vet these companies. And I say, and it's plural because it's these companies. The interesting thing that we found out also from Paragon was a company or is a company that did promise the city of Brownsville that they would be seen a futuristic delivery of products and services. The idea with Paragon, and here we have the press conference before the community. The idea with Paragon was that they were going to be having taxis through the air, and when we all heard of this, we thought, wow, this is going to be something futuristic, something like the Jetsons, right? Well, again, it seems as if Brownsville always gets the short end of the stick. Based on this audit, we did find that both of these companies were not registered with the state of Texas. They have pretty much given up on this amazing opportunity that they presented to the city. Now the city is trying to recoup close to $1 million. Do we really think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. When this came out, many individuals were upset because they feel as if Brownsville always gets caught in these types of situations, and that is why we wanted to ask: well, where does that GBIC FERIA? Where does that GBIC FERIA go nowadays? Yesterday, Tuesday, the city of Brownsville did have its commission meeting, and one of PUB did give a presentation as well. But again, it seems as if the whole PUB issue is kind of already a stalemate, or they kind of just waved the white flag, or maybe us peasants have just possibly given up. Well, another issue that we have been following has been GBIC. We want to learn what happens to that GBIC FERIA. Yesterday, action item number 3, the commission did consider and take action to approve the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation for the 2024 budget. The interesting thing that we learned, and for those that aren't fully aware, GBIC is a nonprofit organization that was created for the disbursement of 1/4 cent sales tax collected within the city of Brownsville. But again, all what we have seen as of late has been mismanagement. Here you go, take the money and run. Yesterday, there was a presentation done by the new CEO of GBIC, Brett Gardella, who has a background in communications, is now at the helm of GBIC. And through his presentation, he's a salesman. Again, he does have a background in communication, and he's good with words. He did promise a new direction, and after the conclusion of his presentation, he was congratulated because in this short 4 or 5 weeks that he's been at the helm, the city commissioners did state that they did see a change in the atmosphere, in the promoting of GBIC. as of late, many people have argued and stated that GBIC, all it is, GBIC and BCIC, all it is an ATM for the politicos to get their pet projects off the ground. A wise man once said, rich people do not use their money to get rich. They use the dumb one, us, to get rich. But nonetheless, Brett Gardella, in his presentation before the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation, did present his request for this upcoming budget cycle. One thing that we do want to take part and focus on is the amount of revenue. Again, the GBIC, they do receive 1/4 cent of the revenue that is collected. Based on the proposed budget for this upcoming year, they will be receiving $6.5 million, which is 13% from last year. They do have a high payroll, as you can see here on the screen. Close to $900,000 is allocated for staff alone, and you would think that these individuals are getting paid too much. His argument before Commissioner's Court was that he wants to hire the very best, and he's competing with bigger markets such as Corpus, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. But the great thing is, according to the GBIC CEO, was that Brownsville, well, we do have natural resources compared to others. We have our ports. We have, SpaceX now, which is big. The interesting thing also from this presentation was how their communications was going to increase. If you could take a look right here, the communications for telephone services is going up from 13,000 to 90,000. And it got me thinking, what the heck? Are they buying all brand new iPhones for everybody in the city? What are they doing? Also, staff travel expenses is at 150,000. Now, I understand for these types of entities, they do need to travel out. They do need to go. They do need to go to conferences. They need to learn from other thriving cities. That's something that they could bring back and have it work here. But it just seems a little bit excessive for $90,000. You're at 13 last year. This year, you're at 90,000. The travel expense for the staff is a bit expensive. But again, he seems as if he is headed in the right direction, according to City Commission. Another thing that caught my eye was the space-related activities. Last year, it was at 850,000. This upcoming year for 2024, it is only 50,000. And the CEO did mention, hey, we are aware of what is going on with the city trying to recoup the money. Close to $1 million just walked out the door, and the city of Brownsville didn't do much of anything. The city of Brownsville has a lot to work on. It is no secret that many individuals feel as if the pet projects for these politicos and elite has been off the backs of us common folks. And again, South Texas, the city of Brownsville, has been rated one of the poorest and least educated throughout the whole United States. But haven't you seen that the rich keep on getting richer? Is it a party affiliation? Is it that we just don't care as a community, as a society, if these individuals do this? Now, we are in support of entrepreneurship, but whenever it is on the back of the poorest area in the United States, we have cause for concern. Another question that we wanted to bring up was, since our current city manager, Helen Ramirez, since she was at the helm of GBIC, and she personally negotiated with 989 Point and Paragon. She personally negotiated the contracts. Again, it has to go through legal, of course, but it was her idea. She was the one responsible for it. And now the city of Brownsville is stuck in litigation trying to recoup this money. And we've always asked, where does that GBIC FERIA go? Well, lately as it has been mismanaged. But according now to the new direction of the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation, it looks like it's on the up and up. He was praised by our city commissioners and saying, you know what, there is a change in the atmosphere with your arrival. The staff seems to be, embracing you. Keep up the good work. Now, we hate to sound negative, and we always get told that, hey, you're a little bit negative. But do you blame us? We've been cheated on. We've been robbed. They've stolen from us. They've used us. It's like that toxic relationship that says, baby, I love you, but I steal from you. I take from you. I mismanage our account. You and I can agree that the city of Brownsville deserves better. But whenever you have individuals who run for public office, not to improve the quality of life for you and I, but so they can be able to have first dibs at these types of opportunities, such as GBIC and such as BCIC, we've posed the question, where does that GBIC FERIA go with the new direction of leadership at GBIC? We anticipate that great things are going to happen. One thing that caught my mind, though, was, are these individuals just great at talking? Are they great BSers who know how to sway us? Only time will tell. The question that we posed today in our feature story was, where does that GBIC FERIA go? This past few years, we have been swindled of over $1 million. We are stuck in litigation. Now, with new direction and someone new at the helm, is this going to lead Brownsville into that thought of being that thriving economic city that is going to bring jobs galore and going to really impact those that live here? Or is this just another of the city commission's tool that is going to do as he has told? Or if not, they will find the next CEO. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. The dental hygienist program in the city of Harlingen at TSC is ranked amongst the best here in Texas. I was shocked to find out that a dental hygienist would only have to go to school for 2 years, and in those 2 years, they could receive up to $80,000. That by 2030, in 6 years, that the state does expect for this profession to grow by 30%. TSC does offer an Associate's of Applied Science degree in dental hygiene at the Harlingen campus. Now, this might be a profession that you might want to present to your loved one. Hey, all you have to go to school for is 2 years, and you'll walk out with 80 grand. We have all heard of individuals going to 4-year schools, getting their master's, getting their doctorates, and they're not even making that much money. Just something to think about. The city of Brownsville, along with the Brownsville Public Utilities Board, they did issue a water restriction. We are currently in a stage 2 water restrictions due to low water levels being at the Amistad and Falcon reservoirs. They are one of the largest reservoirs that does provide water to the Rio Grande Valley. And again, we were all thinking, hey, but what about the car washes? They spend a lot of money. Well, not really, not technically. What I learned was that car washes, they recycle their water. So they're not really spending each day on the consumption of water. It's filtered, recycled, and reused. I didn't know that. So now we know why we have car washes popping up left and right. And the individual that presented that information to me said, man, it's a good business. You got to get it while it's hot. And I said, man, there's already too many car washes in the city of Brownsville. Today, before the 13th Court of Appeals, Save RGV, Sierra Club, and the Carrizo Nation of Texas will present oral arguments before the 13th Court of Appeals in Edinburgh today, Wednesday morning. They are suing to keep Boca Chica Beach from repeated closures for test flights and SpaceX activity. It was alarming for us to learn that last year SpaceX closed the beaches for over 1,000 hours. The FAA was only allocating them 500 hours, which is actually double. And as we all know, the Texas Constitution does grant us, the public, the right to have access to these public beaches. But the interesting thing here that the judge ruled on last summer was whether a private group such as these, if they could sue the state over that right. That is going to be something that is going to be interesting to follow. And for our feature story, where does that GBIC Feria go? The city of Brownsville has been duped as of late. These past 2 years, we were promised that we were going to be the city for aerospace, aerodynamics, and the likes of Paragon 9.89 Capital did swindle the city for over $1 million. Now we have a new CEO at the helm of GBIC. He so far in his 4 or 5 weeks, he is off to a great start, according to the city commission. But again, is this just another individual that is great with words? And again, he's got a communications degree. Or is he that something that we need for the city to give it a new, fresh of breath air, to guide the city over that hump that's going to lead us to the promised land? Only time will tell. It is Wednesday, September the 20th, 7:39 a.m. My name is Frank Olivo. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you here on Friday. God bless.